Ramble.
Thank you to BetterHelp and Thrive Cosmetics for sponsoring today's episode.
You wouldn't like me when I'm hungry. Na 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 Morbius! Welcome to Guilty Pleasures.
Wow.
What's up, everybody? Today we are talking about the Batman himself,
The
Morbius.
actual Batman.
Last week we talked about the Batman. This week we're talking about the Batman, Jared Leto's Morbius.
Yes.
Now, later in this episode, we're going to be having Ryan Broderick from the Garbage Day newsletter from the Content Minds podcast, who's going to be joining us to talk about the meme impact of Morbius. But first, we saw this movie.
Yeah, we did.
Ooh, we saw this movie.
We saw it
did we?
with all of our eyes.
If you don't know the context here, Morbius is the newest Marvel-esque installment. It's not really Marvel. It's
Marvel-ish.
Sony Marvel.
Adjacent.
The Spider-Man universe in Sony. And this movie was very maligned online. People were making fun of it before it came out. Then the critics started dumping on it. People made fun of it. And then it came out and actually kind of crushed at the box office.
Did it?
Yeah.
No way.
Good.
And that led to a web identity all unto itself. So we'll get into all of that later.
What?
The first thing that I'm really curious, because we saw the movie, all three of us together last night.
Yeah, we
Date
did.
night.
Date night.
It was
Date night with the
adorable.
boys.
No, like me and Jared were having a date night and you guys
And then
joined.
we crashed it. Yeah. I walked in and I kind of moonwalked into Umami Burger and it was just like, oh, what's up, guys? Can I sit
Also,
with you?
Jared thinks you guys are like the coolest people.
Oh, I think
I
he's
know.
cool because
It's
he's
so
tall.
annoying. Yeah, that's why I like him too.
That's cool that we're cool. I like
Yeah.
that. That's
Yeah.
fucking sick.
He
It's
likes
cool that he's
listening
that
to
tall
y'all.
and likes Dune.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to at all.
Yeah.
but
He
he's
like
just
really
you know
likes
what?
Dune. He
Loves
read
Dune.
Dune.
Yeah.
He read it 3 times.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Dune.
That's-
He can quote it.
Yeah.
That's a
crazy.
lot of spice. And actually, he wanted to see Morbius. Both of you.
Yeah.
tried to get me to see it when it came, like the night it came out. And I was like, fuck no. I don't even know what this is about. I don't understand it. But boy, am I sad I didn't go opening night.
This is what I was curious, because as soon as the movie ended, Kelsey turned to us and said, "We're not talking about it until we hit record."
Yeah.
Because once you pop, the fun don't stop.
Yeah.
And I was walking away with Garrick, and I said, "We were so you
No,
guys."
you didn't talk about me after I left.
You
Yeah, we
guys, Kelsey valets because she likes the finer things
Yeah,
in life.
because she's fancy. Because she has a car for it.
No!
Carrick and I self-parked.
Yeah.
The parking lot was full.
No, it
No, it
wasn't.
wasn't. There was
was.
literally 300 spots when we
Wednesday
went.
night
On level
at the
4.
On level
Grove.
four.
On level 4
Was
alone.
Busy.
Yeah.
It was busy when we went.
Wednesday
way.
night.
Yep.
No way.
Oh
Yeah.
and we were going up the escalators, and I went, Garrick, I have a hunch
Oh,
that Kelsey loved that movie.
You're fucking right.
oh my God.
I loved this movie. I love it
shit.
so much. And Garrick, which one are you? Are you my boyfriend? Jared also loved it.
Yeah.
And we stayed up talking about it until we fell asleep about how it's the perfect movie. I can't
genuinely
wait to talk to you
upset.
about it.
want to drain
my body
of
I'm
blood and just
Thrilled
Oh
to
my
be the
God!
one.
I wanna, so
The
what part of him sucking down blue Capri Sun juices is where you were like, oh, this is the movie for me?
Okay. Before I throw up the defenses, before
Yeah.
I hate you both only 3 minutes into this, usually we get at least 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
How did you guys feel about it?
It was just bad. It was just like it wasn't even a fun bad movie. It was just a bad movie.
You knew the premise, you knew the villain, you're
Yeah.
the Batman
Yeah.
extraordinaire.
Not Batman.
It's
Not
not
the
Batman.
Batman, but Spider-Man. You knew what to expect and you had an expectation.
I knew of him because of the cartoon Spider-Man. Bowie, no.
Wow, Bowie unchose you as soon as you started talking shit.
Because I talked shit about Morbius.
Bowie's a huge Morbius.
He's a huge Morbius
He would
fan.
be, I feel like.
So I knew about Morbius because of the cartoon and not because of his comic iteration. But in the cartoon, they weren't allowing him to suck actual blood. He drained people of plasma in their blood, and he did it from his fingertips because also it was a children's movie or children's show. So that he would like grab people, and he had like bat suckers on his hands.
He would suck their life force.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
that
it
is
was
a
weird.
completely different movie.
It's a
Kind of like
completely different
Rogue
thing.
from X-Men. He would like touch them and suck them dry.
Suck them dry. But it was like, oh, he's a vampire. He looked like a vampire. He had fangs. He had a bat nose. All that good stuff. And he was this same, like, he was Peter Parker's rival in school.
Oh.
And he was like, you know, oh my God, I can't believe this guy's smarter than me, blah, blah, blah. And that's where like a bit of his edge came from. But then Felicia Hardy, who's Black Cat, who was missing from this fucking movie, was his girlfriend, and she dies?
Wasn't that what happened in this movie?
But that's not
lady.
There was a different lady?
Well, not in this film. Morbius stars Jared Leto, the human vampire himself, as Michael Morbius. Michael Morbius is a brilliant doctor who has invented a synthetic blood, but he also has a rare blood disorder. That he's a chronic pain homie. He is disabled.
Chronic pain.
Spoonie.
Severely disabled. He walks around on crutches. He has severe pain. If he doesn't have blood transfusions every X hours, he will die.
3 times a day.
It's intense. It's like an intense illness. And so he has dedicated his life to one, trying to help people, but trying to cure this mystery illness for himself and for his best friend, Milo, played by Matt Smith of Doctor Who fame. In trying to fix his mystery illness, he combines his blood with that of a vampire bat, and he turns into a vampire. Morbius becomes Morbius, Batman, the vampire killer.
Michael becomes Morbius. Sorry, I'm sorry. Stupid.
And then Milo does it too, but Milo's a bad vampire, so Morbius has to save the day.
Yeah.
This is Morbius.
Okay, before we dive deep into it, I have to say 2 things. Yeah. One, Jared Leto is 50 years old. If you don't believe me, Google it. I can't believe he's 50. That blows my mind.
He's 50.
And you know what? Not only can I not believe that he's 50, the movie can't believe that he's 50.
Yeah.
So he's not 50 years old in this movie.
No.
They do a flashback to him 25 years ago when he was, what do we think, 12?
Yeah.
So at most, let's do the math here.
He's 32.
Maybe he's 30s, 40s.
Yeah.
36.
That's insane.
The movie said
He's
no one
50.
will believe that Jared Leto is 50 years old.
I
so
asked
we
my
need to make him
father
younger.
how old my dad thought he was, and he said 25.
Wow.
I mean, he doesn't look that young.
What
but he
is
doesn't
he
look
doing?
50. Sucking the blood of babies.
Oh, babies.
We were talking before the
Stem cell
movie,
research.
the whole QAnon thing where people they think that
they
the Hollywood
suck
elite
blood.
are like sucking stem cells out of
He
babies.
is.
Is obviously a dangerous, weird rumor. But
But
maybe
he
it is true for
He
Jared
is.
Leto.
Yeah, if they could focus all that Q energy on Jared Leto,
Which brings
then
me
I
to
feel
my
like
second
we would.
point.
Yeah,
Just right on Jared
just right
Leto.
on Jared.
Yeah.
If we could just be like, it's him. We found
Yeah.
it.
We tell QAnon, you were totally
You were right.
There's
But
the
it's
guy.
it's this
Go
guy.
Get him.
Yeah, go ahead.
And while you're at it, don't let him be in
Right.
any more movies.
Don't storm the Capitol. Storm Jared Leto's house.
Which
Storm Jared Leto's Malibu mansion.
Right, exactly.
exactly what I want
Free
to
those
say
girls.
is I will talk about it because we're talking about this movie, but Jared Leto is a problematic figure in the community. He
Yeah.
is known to be the predator, is sleeping with underage women, and people are just resurgencing, and this has been known for quite some time. I also know a friend that slept with him, and he only did anal, and we thought that was a little off, but we didn't question it at the time. So listen, I'll talk about him in the sense of Morbius. I support the movie Morbius. I don't support the person.
I didn't know he was. Wow. Oof, boy.
Yeah,
Yikes.
it's coming back out, especially because Morbius.
Yeah, you know what? This is all because of white Jesus, and the reason why is because Jared Leto looks like what we believe to be Jesus,
white
and they're
version.
just looking up to this holy figure as if.
Yeah.
Wow, that got steep.
Yeah.
You don't grow that hair unless you have a God complex.
yeah,
exactly.
You know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
So all that said, fuck you, Jared Leto, and your 50-year-old bitch ass. But damn, I loved this movie so fucking much.
How?
can't
Okay,
believe-
I want to hear everything.
Should we start with just a broad stroke of why we don't? Because I think that's the majority opinion.
Speak
What
for
we don't
yourself.
like? No, I would rather hear Kelsey's take on
Okay,
what
I'll give
she
you a
would
very
love, what she
easy
loved.
version that
Yeah.
then I'm sure you guys can rip into a million pieces. This was simple, stupid. movie. It was beginning to end. Here's the fucking problem with all these superhero movies now. It's convoluted. It's 3 fucking hours long. I'm sorry. My bladder can't handle it. It's this iteration and this guy, and you have to know this version in comic, and you had to have seen this movie to understand that joke. This was an origin story. It was a slice of his life to understand beginning, middle, end. It was done. There was funny shit. It wasn't too much fucking fighting, which I hate in those movies when they spend 20 minutes fighting. And it was simple, stupid. I got it. It went. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was simple. It was definitely stupid.
It was definitely stupid, and it was definitely convoluted.
It was so convoluted.
The explanation. Okay, we were talking about this last night. He literally.
I told you guys not to talk about it.
Well, we said we had like a small walk and talk, which is part of a larger walk and talk, which is 90% of this movie. But like the movie was constantly explaining itself.
Yes.
While also being confusing at the exact same time.
What were you confused about?
The movie,
everything.
You know, like the classic adage of show, don't tell?
Yes.
This was tell
do
and
not
don't
show.
explain.
Don't explain it.
And don't show.
Cool
it just
graphics.
told me everything constantly.
Constantly.
Was telling me what was happening. But then I was also like, wait, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Wait, what exactly are his powers? Wait, what the fuck are we doing? Wait, how did he know? It just jumped.
Because like and then you're also talking about you have to know about the things behind the scenes. You also have to know everything about bats in order to know what his powers were.
What?
Like the fact that bats have I think they have hollow bones like birds do.
Why would I know
and that's
that?
why he was so light to like wind
No,
and
I
shit
thought
like
it was because
that.
bats would fly.
No, he doesn't have fucking wings.
Well, he clearly was flying.
But that doesn't
is
make any
that what was happening?
He was lightening his body so that he could fly
bats
through.
fly. He flies.
I am
it works.
so
Nah, you're
fucking
looking
mad.
too deep.
No, I'm not.
Oh my
Did you
God,
not see-
Garrick,
Did
I
you
am
not see the wind
furious.
push him over at the beginning?
Yes.
The wind was like
important.
pushing him over, right? He's just like, oh, I can feel the wind.
You
And then he
are
felt the
blowing-
wind from the subway,
Okay,
and
I'm
then
gonna
he jumped in front of it. That's the only way he can fly. He can't actually fly. He's just like gliding in a weird way.
Yeah, like a sugar glider squirrel. I
I
believed
am
it.
seething with rage right now.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
God. Okay, I'm going to explain this because, Miles, I know you didn't see the movie. So he had...
He was a frail little man. He was
so
tiny.
Morbius has wind vision at one point where he can see the wind. And this is first revealed because for some reason he almost blows over and we can see like lines written in the wind. And then later a subway's
That's just
coming.
Mufasa talking to him. Anyway.
Later a subway's coming and he closes his eyes and he can see the wind. And then he jumps in front of it and just
He
starts
sugar gliders.
flying like a sugar glider.
Yes.
So he just got-
Wind works.
But
It
I didn't realize, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I guess he's one with the sky now, but you're suggesting that bats have hollow bones.
Yes.
And he was able to
Yes.
change the density,
density
of his bones,
Yes.
to fly. I want to die.
Oh, yeah. Let me see if bats have hollow bones. If I'm
Yeah,
correct.
I'm like the other thing that the one thing I was confused about is the bat.
They don't have hollow bones, but
Oh.
they are lightweight compared to other mammals.
Okay,
and
there
I
you
feel
go.
like that is the reason why he was light enough to be blown over.
Or maybe he was gliding.
Someone listening who is a bat expert who's like,
Deceiving.
No, they don't have hollow bones. They're
fake
mammals.
news. Okay, so he's a scientist. Let's get that out of the way. He's like
we'll
savant
start at the beginning.
scientist, and he goes to the caves of Peru and
This is the opening scene.
Yeah.
takes the bats out by scraping his own finger and showing them the blood, and they all blow out, and he captures all the bats and he brings them to his office in New York City.
All right, we can just pause right there already because
so much in this.
What do you
first
mean?
scene.
Traveling with 50,000 bats in your backpack doesn't work?
It doesn't work. No, but even that, we saw the danger of the bats.
Yes.
Why?
And they told us the danger of the bats was the most trite 90s
Stop
action
it.
movie.
Immediately.
I wrote it down. I took out my phone in the theater because, spoiler alert, no one was there.
It was a Wednesday night at the Grove. The parking was full, though.
The first line is, "We shouldn't be here after dark." And then they see Morbius with his crutches and they go, "Do you need a doctor?" And he turns and goes,
I am
a
a doctor.
That's
great.
the opening of the movie.
I loved it. Anyway,
But
he
like
captures his bats.
The timing isn't even cheeky or anything like that. It's just pure trite, like you just said, and it's just
It
like
was funny.
I am a doctor.
You know that was
and then
funny.
He just moved. It wasn't played for jokes.
So
I don't
Garrick
think Jared
points out-
Leto plays anything for jokes.
So what Garrick was pointing out is that we are warned of the danger of these bats. We see that these are like
vampire bats.
Vampire bats. They shredded a carcass, right?
They shredded a carcass. As they fly through things, they just devour it. That's what they're saying that bats, vampire bats do.
But I
don't think that that's what they do.
Then I was like, wow, how is this going to translate into a human body? Because I wasn't sure.
But that's not what I mean. I meant he put up the trap or whatever in front of the cave. That stopped nothing.
I was confused how he got the bats.
He cut his hand, put his hand out, and I'm like, oh, he's about to fucking die. This movie is really short. That's crazy. And nothing happened. They all flew by him. All the people ran into the helicopter, his little compatriots or compatriots, whatever the fuck you want to call them. And they ran.
I prefer compatriots.
How do you?
They ran for their life.
How did he corral all those bats?
I have no idea.
Okay,
because the movie doesn't explain.
It's fine. We're moving on. He brings his bats to New York City.
This episode is brought to you by Thrive Cosmetics. You know Thrive, they've got high-performance beauty and skincare products made with clean, skin-loving ingredients. Kelsey will not shut up about Thrive Cosmetics. She loves them. She adores them. Have you been noticing that her face is a little dewier lately? That's because she's treating her skin well. And her eyes, they are popping. They're beautiful. You know, the windows to the soul. They've got the Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara, ultra-lengthening, eye-opening mascara. Lasts all day without clumping, smudging, or flaking. And let's talk about the cause in cosmetics. With Bigger Than Beauty, for every product purchased, Thrive Cosmetics donates to help women thrive. Women emerging from homelessness, surviving domestic abuse, fighting cancer, and more. Now is a great time to try Thrive Cosmetics for yourself. Right now, you can get 15% off your first order when you visit thrivecosmetics.com/guilty. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/guilty for 15% off your first order. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. People don't always realize that physical symptoms like headaches, teeth grinding, and even digestive issues can be indicators of stress. I don't do well with stress. I notice that if I'm working right before bed, I will wake up grinding my teeth. Stress shows up in all kinds of ways, and in a world that's telling you to do more, sleep less, and grind all the time, here's your reminder to take care of yourself and maybe try some therapy like BetterHelp. I use BetterHelp. I love BetterHelp. It's so nice to just have a weekly meeting to kind of tether me. My schedule's all over the place, and so I really struggled with traditional offline counseling. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy. Give it a try and see if online therapy can help lower your stress. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Guilty Pleasures listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/guiltypleasures. That's BETTERHELP.com/guiltypleasures. Well, let's just fucking talk about Morbius's powers, okay? I think it's an important thing, because he's got a lot of them. He is a Batman. He's a vampire. He's the Batman.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about what he can do.
Okay.
He's got superpowers.
Yeah.
He's strong. He's got abs.
He goes from
zero
snapping him in
hero.
half
Yeah.
to, oh my God, abs. And I wondered if the abs were actually CGI'd. Because how did they go from so frail and thin to so bulked?
So I think that his body was CGI'd. There was a point when he's.
I think it's the other way around.
There's no way.
His frail body, I thought, was CGI'd, because there was a point where he was getting laid out and strapped down where his head looked floaty.
Did you ever see him in Dallas Buyers Club? That
That's
bitch can
fair.
get thin.
He can get thin.
But it's more likely that he worked out a lot to look hot for a movie.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's the other way around. Anyway,
I love that. He can fly because he's got light bones, apparently.
He's got light bones.
Yes.
He has echolocation.
Yeah.
He can hear. And actually, before I even go on and talk about more,
I like that part.
I've got the echolocation.
Yeah.
Garrick and I both had exactly two pleasures with this movie.
Oh.
And the echolocation, we agreed, was one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They're like dolphins.
Yeah, he has this sound vision, and they do this whoop, 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 whoop. First of all, they have a close up on his ear,
Which is disgusting.
Disgusting. Gave me the.
Yeah. Every time I saw it, I was okay.
Ears don't do
It looked
that.
like the bottom of a mushroom.
Yes.
Yeah.
It ripples, and you can see it going you can see
Yeah.
it vibrating.
Hated it.
And then it cuts to a view of the city where like it goes like and it like you can see sound waves. But I need to point out that's not how echolocation works.
No.
What?
He has to make a noise.
And then, it bounces back.
And then he hears
screech.
it. Yeah.
So
Wait.
the movie should have had Jared Leto going everywhere and going, ha!
Yeah.
Wait. But I can't argue that.
And then
Here,
you
there
can't
needs to be
just-
a
yeah, it
sound
wasn't
wave
like-
that bounces.
It also wasn't like good hearing.
Are we sure?
It's mapping. He can see where everything is. Like, so the example with the ball is probably more correct than him zoning in on people's conversations.
Maybe we just didn't hear him go like, huh. Maybe it was a quiet little.
Fair.
He just moans under his breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody should watch Daredevil again.
Yeah,
On
all right.
Netflix. The first season, the second season was fantastic as well.
Ben Affleck one? You want to die?
We've killed Garrick 6 times in this episode.
No, the Charlie Cox one.
There's another thing. So he has like speed motion. And for whatever reason, the team decided to animate every bit of action in this movie.
Yeah.
One in the dark,
Yeah.
obviously. You
Yeah,
don't want to
because
see
he's
it.
in the dark.
God forbid we see any of it.
Yeah.
But then they added vapor trails to everyone's body. And so you can't tell what the fuck is going on ever.
So I think they were using rehashed Venom movements and then putting that on top of his fight scenes. That is my theory.
You know
I
why
don't
it
know if
didn't
that's
bother me?
true.
Because there wasn't that many fucking fight scenes. And it was so quick. And thank you for
I
making
hate
it.
when there's not enough fight scenes
Yo,
in an action movie.
it was good
Can we
when
do
it-
the raid?
No.
Yes.
Please.
That's a
Raid
good
is-
movie.
Is incredible.
Yeah, I'm sorry to bring up another movie. But we're talking about this movie.
When, you know when Garrick's not having a good time, and he's like, let's talk
Garrick's-
about another thing.
Literally anything else. Wait, but are you done talking about your other favorite pleasure of this? You said you had 2
Oh yeah,
ears.
the second one was Milo.
Matt Smith,
Yeah.
who is my favorite doctor, and I know David Tennant fans are going to be really pissed at me. I just like David Tennant had better writing. And actually, David Tennant's better. But I don't know. I love Matt Smith. I love this guy. I've been waiting for him to have his breakout. This, unfortunately, isn't it.
Yeah.
But he is incredible. He chews up the scenery. I feel like he understood the assignment and the transformation that he goes through. Like, he's really fun. He's really funny. He's zany. Like, I wish he were Morbius.
Yeah,
man.
I wish he was Morbius. I wish that we got more on him because he was the only interesting character in the movie.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh my God, if what would you do if you are frail and then you are given ultimate power? I feel like you would be more on this guy's side of like just terrorizing the world.
It would have made sense for him to be or at least more alongside him, and then they split off, and then you know what I mean? Like
he's immediately a villain. He's
immediately a villain.
I love killing.
He's like, I'm gonna fuck and fight and like just go out, go hard.
Yeah.
There is a scene that I implore you to Google. Just look up Matt Smith dancing Morbius.
Yeah.
And it's him getting ready in a suit. And the
Sony.
camera work is like really
It's really
avant-garde
good.
and dope. It's like
It's really good.
zooming in on him as he's dancing, rolling his arms. He's getting dressed in a suit. And then for whatever reason, as he's getting dressed, he'll just occasionally go, rah, and turn into a
that
vampire
was
for a
my
second
question.
and back.
What do bats like roar? Because that was a
They
big
screech. They make
feature.
that popping noise
That
so
was
that they
not
can
a screech.
see.
That was not a screech.
No, it was not.
This was a
Also,
mountainous roar.
Back to the powers. So the whole thing is that the blue and the fake blood
Right, so
kept
there was
him,
synthetic blood.
Synthetic blood kept
Blue.
him normal. And the red blood made him into that insane creature that we saw at the beginning.
Yeah.
So why the fuck was it Milo, that insane creature, the entire time? He was having full-on conversations. He was having a great time.
I thought it was
dancing.
just when they get hungry.
No, I thought it was, that's why like his whole thing is that he didn't want to get the taste of red because he was going to turn into that thing again.
I think it's what makes you bad. It makes you violent and angry. So as long as he kept staying blue, he could control it.
I
But
thought he just
Milo
didn't
was
want
controlling
red blood
it.
because he like didn't want to.
But you see how we all have 3 different versions
well, it's
of what this
it's
is?
left to be discovered, you know? You guys have to admit that this is a pleasure though, that the fucking makeup and graphic effects on him as a scary, scary monster vampire was fucking scary. That shit was scary. They hollowed, gaunted out his cheekbones. That was scary. You were scared.
Define scary.
I'm gonna pull up a picture. This shit. I was like,
was
ooh.
I scared?
It was scary.
It was creepy.
It was fine. It wasn't something that I enjoyed.
It was a scary
I think that the movie wanted to be a horror movie, and it wasn't.
This bitch, look at this. He had that Michael Jackson nose. He had the longest jaws I've ever seen.
I loved any scene where he was transforming into Morbius, and you could kind of see him like in between.
You're scared. This is a scary face.
I think, and that's also like an inherent problem with the character to me, is that he is a vampire. So the movie wants to be a horror film, but is a PG-13 broad Marvel movie. So it's not scary. It's never scary.
No.
They attempt one scare scene with the lights going off.
I closed my eyes a lot.
Shut up.
I covered my ears because I, as a filmmaker, I know when they're going to jump scare the shit out of us. And I had multiple ear plugging moments.
I mean, I had some ear plugging moments, but for a different reason.
He's completely zoned out. He's dead inside.
I don't understand how you're defending here.
I'm not defending. I'm saying it was good scary. It scared me. I was scared.
I was not
scared.
I was afraid. I don't like being jumped out at. I wasn't like, I'm not going to sleep tonight. I just don't like anticipatory thriller jump scare shit.
Yeah.
They had some of it. He's a vampire. Boo.
There's so much that I didn't understand as a viewer, and I didn't understand how he understood.
Yeah.
So as soon as he becomes the Batman, they're 13 nautical miles out in international waters. They make a point to say that. He kills everyone on the boat. His love interest to be gets knocked out, and he jumps off the boat.
Yeah.
And swims to shore.
Bats can't swim.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm Googling it.
Bats can't swim. He swims
bats swim?
13 nautical miles, which I have to assume is different than miles, but let's just say 13
They're pretty good swimmers. They all swim like little rowboats, says Dan Taylor of the Bat Conservation International.
Oh my God.
They're really
expert.
good swimmers.
But
and
how
they
would
can
he
swim
know?
Underwater.
How he just turned into a vampire
How did
creature.
he know he could do anything? The powers take over. They're
How did he know that he could
That's
swim
fucking
13
crazy.
miles?
How cute is it?
That's
Bats are
fucking
so
crazy
cute.
that bats can swim.
Well.
Like little
Look
rowboats.
at this guy.
Oh, he's doing like a breaststroke.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
He's
Ew.
swimming.
I expected just their little feet to kick like a
No,
little
he's
motor.
using his whole wings to swim. So that makes sense. We proved you guys wrong.
Okay,
so that's-
boo-boo.
that's fair.
Can we talk about Tyrese?
Oh my God. Can we talk about... guys, this film
Yes.
stars...
This is your job,
the
Garrick.
Fast and Furious's own Too Fast Tyrese Gibson.
I yelped when I saw him on screen. I turned to you boys and I was like, what?
Kelsey was like, did you know?
I was so excited. Here's my one guilt. I wrote down, this man looked like he had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
The
It's just like,
entire
it just kind
time.
of showed up. It's just like, yeah, I guess this is a thing in between
He's
Fast
like,
9 and 10.
Interesting. You mean
I
to tell
think-
me you weren't at the scene of the crime? All right, bye. I
Yeah.
was like, wait,
But
what?
the thing that sucks with Tyrese being in these types of movies
Yeah.
is that he was so good in Baby Boy. Have you guys seen Baby Boy?
Ooh, I don't think in a while.
Yeah. Wow.
He's so good in that movie. And then he's just done these and you're like, but my boy, he can act if he's given the material.
Oh my gosh, I like
I
that.
forgot all about Baby
That
Boy.
movie poster is like burned into my brain
Oh
for
my
some
God, it
reason.
has
That's
to
like
be.
immediate memories.
It's a LA classic.
I
Very
guarantee
attractive man.
you that his agent was like, Tyrese, you're going to be in the new Marvel movie. And he was like, shut up. I'm entering the MCU. And his agent's like, well,
Hold on there.
not exactly. And he's
Yeah.
like, I'm going to be in the MCU.
But
oh my God.
what more could he want? He's already in Fast.
No,
like,
but I
he
think
has
he
the
wants-
best life.
I think he wants everything. I
He
think he
wants
wants the
more.
world.
Yeah.
He's trying to build generational wealth. He's
Yeah.
trying to set up his great grandchildren.
I like that
fair.
for him, but I thought, you know what? He played the most realistic version of like an investigator where it's like, this is going to take a while. I can't figure this out.
He also, his
don't.
partner is Al Madrigal, who is a stand-up who
He's
I
very-
like a lot.
very-
He
fun.
was crazy. He was like
great.
a comic book character.
But he was funny.
He's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
He also has one of the most confusing moments of the movie where they go into someone's house. He starts shaking a litter box and goes, "Here, kitty, kitty," and then after a second goes, "The cat's not here."
I did think that was
cat
insane. He shook the litter box as if that's what cats are called.
Yeah, he's gonna shit,
someone
I guess.
Someone didn't check that on the script.
Maybe
Nobody checked anything on the script.
I set that up for you.
Yeah, you did.
Shit.
Can I make a confession about Tyrese that I can't believe it's never come up in any of our Fast episodes?
Please.
I adored that man's briefly lived R&B career.
Oh my God.
Layla,
Are you kidding me?
have I told you I love you?
That's where he started. That's all I know.
I fucked with him so hard.
I know Tyrese more as a singer than I do as an actor, if I'm
He
being
has
honest.
the name Tyrese. It's a one-name wonder.
Yeah, I still feel like...
And he was a VJ before that on MTV.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
been
know
in
him
it.
as the singer that made it in acting.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
How old is he? Is he like pulling a Jared
he might
Leto?
be
He just
pushing
looks
60.
fantastic.
No.
He's 43.
Okay, that
I've been
makes
wrong
more
3
sense.
times. I'm not going to make any more guesses today. I'm going to make any more guesses.
He looks
If you've
good.
never watched the music video for Lately, it's like him walking around a very swanky apartment singing about how horny he is for this girl.
Yeah.
And at one point, he's on his knees, shirtless, pants on, in the shower, with the shower just raining cold water on his
Classic.
dick because he's so helplessly horny
Yeah.
that he needs to cool
Yeah.
his dick down.
Yeah.
It's art.
It's fantastic.
So I can't believe this. Tyrese, our boy,
Yeah.
in your favorite movie of the year, Morbius,
I
and
know.
you didn't like him.
No, he had very low energy.
He had very low energy. He had like a small backstory about him being in Afghanistan.
But it was like there and gone.
Yeah. And then also, they said they were FBI agents. FBI agents don't fucking investigate like that.
Yeah.
They don't fucking...
No, he was acting like a notepad detective.
Just say you're in the NYPD and then all of that is gone.
Fixed. Yeah. And then like the moment where they discover all the big giant hole in the ground. It's like, what could have made this big giant hole? And then like, again, 50 million bats fly out of it. And everyone's like, oh, he was just like, oh,
Yeah,
bats. Dang, where'd they come from?
I
was like, wait,
Damn.
they did not pay him enough apparently to bring the energy.
I can't remember if they gave Tyrese this line or to Al, but there's a couple police officers in a subway that die and they're investigating. And they go, killing cops in my city.
Yeah.
And we were like, yeah.
Were they FBI? Because if they... it only makes sense if they're cops. I remember hearing them introducing themselves as FBI agents.
Yeah, they were FBI.
Okay, I've been wrong several times today.
Apparently, maybe I'm starting to think maybe Kelsey's right that the movie's great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like siding with you, but you're wrong about all this
Yeah,
stuff.
right. I've been wrong so much.
Maybe
But
it's so
no,
good.
it is terrible. I'm right about that. I know that much. It's a terrible film. But
An artistic choice that I adored was that Jared Leto was in hiding. You know, he's a wanted man.
Yeah.
He still had a working cell phone. That's super cool. He also walked around in the daylight in a raincoat
yeah.
on sunny days.
But that was like a part of his character.
That's
he always did that.
That's suspicious motherfucker, though.
Yeah.
He's wanted
yeah.
by the FBI.
He always
Agent.
looked...
He was agent.
It was okay. So this was adorable. I'm sitting next to Jared. Kelsey's love of her life.
Yes, true.
He's super tall and and very bearded. And at the opening of the film, Jared Leto is wearing a raincoat because that's what he does. Michael Morbius wears raincoats and he's wearing all black and all that stuff, black underneath, and he's on his cane. So like from the side, it looks like something. And then Jared leans over, he's like, it's really cool that they made him look like a bat. It's like he already likes this movie. And I was like, yeah, man.
My sweet boy trying to fit in about talking about film. Listen,
It was
is not
adorable.
us, okay?
It was adorable. But I also
he was trying to fit in.
I didn't track that. And I was like, oh, yeah, that is actually kind of interesting. And then the movie continued to disappoint me.
Oh, sweet Jared. Thank you for trying to be friends with my friends. That
We
was his
love him.
best.
We love
That
Jared.
was his best.
That was so funny.
Representation matters. And Morbius is one of us.
What of us?
Yeah.
He's disabled,
Always in pain.
severely
Always
in
in
chronic
pain.
pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say that Jared Leto is very bad at acting.
Like, he's
Yeah,
in pain.
yeah. It's so funny because I was thinking, I was like, This is some of the, and this is when him and Milo are on screen together. I was like, this is kind of some of the best acted, worst lines I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
To where it's just like, I see that you're the lead, so you really don't have to carry, you know, like their conversation, and somebody else, you can play like the straight man and somebody else can be like really bright and sunny or weird. And that's what Milo's character was in those scenes. And I was like, damn, he's really killing this.
The king, Matt Smith.
Oh my God. And I was like, this is terrible dialogue. What the fuck is happening? They kind of just said what was happening, and it didn't make sense.
Well, there was more than that to me. So we are, okay, so the three of us have chronic pain.
And Miles, don't forget.
And Miles, all four, everyone in this room.
Wow.
Just a quick check-in. We are all in pain all the time,
all the
right
time.
now.
I literally, there it is.
We are always in pain.
Yes.
I'm always in pain, sometimes excruciating pain.
That was me
And
yesterday.
What you don't hear me do is what fucking Jared Leto does in this movie when he's walking around in his crutches. He goes, like he is so fucking overacting,
and he like collapses often in a way that's like, all right,
if
that was true,
I think this movie is ableist.
It's fucking ableist as fuck for so many reasons.
He
least of all because the girl, the love interest, didn't care about him until he was not disabled. He still looked hot when he was fucking. He looked like Jared Leto.
I thought they were dating because he's still Jared Leto in the face.
I don't know. They sunk in his eyes. They made him all bloodshot. They made his face all purpley.
Made him very pale and all that stuff.
They color corrected the life out of him.
Yeah.
But he was plenty fuckable with those crutches.
He's still vampires.
You fall in love with the mind, you know, like that kind of guy. He was clearly like savant, genius. He turned down the Nobel Peace Prize the first 5 minutes.
For what reason?
Because he said it was a failed experiment. But the society saw it as groundbreaking, but it wasn't what he meant to do.
So it's fucking penicillin, bitch. Take it.
No, that's the point. Is he's a humble man.
Okay,
he was trying to cure the blood disease, not invent an artificial blood that comes out of a Capri Sun bag.
Why else was it ableist? Or what else do you want to talk about with his pain?
I think that if he wanted to be method, he should have broken his legs.
So okay, can you share
if
this?
That's what you want to do.
Can we share the story? So Jared Leto, it came out, do you know about this?
No.
Jared Leto, he is a method actor.
Oh, I know about all the problems with Joker, Suicide Squad stuff.
Okay, so in Suicide Squad, he like sent dead rats to his coworkers and stuff like that.
He came on like a blanket and sent it to someone.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
That's a crime.
Yeah. And the guy was like, don't send me your nasty drawers.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, fuck Kelsey.
Sorry, that's what he did.
Right.
So for this movie, he really wanted to know what it was like to not only be disabled, but to be someone who's living with constant chronic pain.
Oh, no.
So in between shooting, he said, I must always be disabled.
Welcome to our lives.
But he wanted to feel the pain. So there was some way in which he was walking that he was hurting himself.
Okay.
And in between shots, he would go to the bathroom and limp very painfully. And he took so long that they had to adjust the schedule of filming to accommodate him because he was going on these little like pain journeys. And so finally they were like, Jared, can we at least please get you a wheelchair? And he didn't want it and eventually relented. This dumb fucker went through all of that, made everyone's life miserable, hurt himself to give the least convincing portrayal of pain I have ever seen in anything ever.
Yeah. Especially if you've been living with it for your entire life.
Yeah.
You don't groan and act like it's the first time you've ever felt it.
Right. It seemed like he woke up that way
Yeah.
and was getting used to it.
Right.
And he, it wasn't just carrying on about his life like we do. But I still thought he acted the hell out of that part. in general, as an overarching compliment.
We've taken the reins here and spit fire down on Morbius. But Kelsey, I would love for you to tell us why we're wrong.
Let me see. Let me go back to my notes.
Any other things that you love?
This is if you liked the Batman and you like bats and you like Batman men, then you're gonna love this movie. It's
this is something you wrote down?
It's easy to follow. It's funny, but it's also scary, spooky. You can take the children if you want to. It's sexy And it's a story about two friends.
So
Friendship.
you thought it was sexy?
Yeah.
What part?
You know that part when he's kissing the girl on the roof,
Mm-hmm.
and it's pretty sexy. And that part when they kiss at the end and she bites his fucking lip. How about that? Was sexy.
Oh my god!
Wait, we
didn't
missed
fucking
this
talk.
whole
We didn't fucking
part.
talk about this.
I'm sorry, Miles. This is important.
This is important.
This is important.
She doesn't bite his lip.
What?
She bites her own lip, or she puts her own blood
It makes
in his mouth.
No, she bit his lip and drank his blood.
the first.
No.
First.
Yes.
The love interest. I don't know her name. I feel
Dr.
bad.
Bathtub.
Dr. Bathtub.
Yeah.
Close.
I mean, like I know you're hearing us be like, we're just calling her some chick, but that's kind of what she is in the movie.
Yeah. But she's a bad bitch.
Dr. Bathtub. She's a bad bitch.
She's a bad
Yeah,
bitch.
I liked her.
Yeah.
But anyway, Dr. Bathtub.
Bancroft.
Dr. Bancroft.
Bathtub
Bathtub sounds better.
dies.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then she goes, Morbius, make my death matter.
Mhm.
And basically forces
kiss.
Morbius to suck her blood. So, because what we didn't describe is that when a vampire sucks blood, they get superpowers for the next like 30 minutes.
Right.
6 hours.
6
or something
hours.
Like that.
But like they're really strong at
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
And so she's like, you need to beat him. Suck me dry, baby boy.
I don't think that's what happened. I think
Suck
she
me
bit his
down.
lip and drank his blood, and that's why she becomes a vampire bat.
And the final frame of the movie,
Her eyeballs light up. She's back alive.
and she's a vampire.
Red eyes. She's gonna be. So who is she gonna be?
Mrs. Morbius.
Yeah.
Garrick couldn't care less.
I couldn't care.
But
I
you
looked
think-
her up. I looked her up. Dr. Bancroft is in the comics, but I don't know anything about it.
But you guys think she bit her own lip to feed to him so that he could go cry ham bad vampire boy.
That is what. Yes.
No, she bit his lip to drink his blood so that she could become vampire.
But
'Cause
he
remember,
also sucked her
His
blood.
blood
Yeah.
is what has the vampire DNA in it.
I agree with you that is what ultimately happened.
So maybe they
Yeah.
trade blood.
Maybe they trade.
I remember she like went in and he goes like, and then she comes back out and then it drops right on her face and she licks it.
Right, I do recall
So
that.
that's her biting his lip.
Okay. All right. Fair.
Yeah, I'm right. You're wrong. This movie's great.
Fair enough. I still don't think that makes sense.
A question that I had is like, so Matt Smith has been drinking real blood and is absolutely stronger.
Yeah.
So how the fuck did Morbius win? Well, because he had Duke.
Because he
drank
had Duke and Zabets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Of
had
course.
Duke and the Bats.
You gotta have
And
Duke
he
and Bats.
invented the potion.
Yeah, that potion that
He stabbed
kills
in the heart.
bats.
Now we're going to welcome in Ryan Broderick. He is the incredible web culture writer from the Garbage Day newsletter and the podcast, The Content Minds, and he is an expert in everything Morbius. Hello, Ryan.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Wow.
Ryan, would it be safe to describe you as like you are an internet journalist? You study the internet.
Yeah. I look at a lot of posts and then I write posts about those posts and then I'm just stuck in that loop forever. So yeah.
You basically do what we all do, but you actually make something out of it.
A career.
I try to. Yeah. Thank you.
Good job.
We're here to talk about Morbius, the internet's new best friend.
Look at
Oh
him.
no, he's
He can't
laughing.
even do it without-
Ryan, I thought you were on my side.
We're here to talk about Morbius, guys. Yeah.
I thought you were on my side. Do you mean to tell me you're not
Ryan,
a
did you
fan?
know
We watched this last night. Kelsey loves this movie.
I fucking ate it. Nom, 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 nom.
I haven't seen the movie.
Oh,
And I'm definitely not going to see the movie until
Yeah.
like I'm on a plane.
Yeah, I
or
don't
something.
think that
Yeah.
this movie deserves money at all.
wow.
No. Like it's unfathomable to me that it's made the money that it has made. So like I'm very excited to talk about this.
Wow.
Morbius, I guess, is kind of the internet's new boyfriend. And I'm wondering if you could describe that phenomenon, how it started, and what's been going on.
Yeah, so like, I mean, Jared Leto is a living meme. People love making fun of him. He's got like a really weird personal life and all kinds of cancelable stuff, I think, in the background.
Yeah, like
Like,
a
You've
cult.
described
He
him
also
as
just-
having cult leader energy, which
Yeah.
is,
He
I think, a
literally had a
perfect
cult.
He had a
description.
cult.
yeah, it's which I was reading about recently, and I think it's a 30 Seconds to
It is.
Mars themed
It's an
cult, which
island.
Yeah.
It's an
mind blowing.
island
Wait, what the fuck?
in
Yeah.
Greece.
And they call him the prophet.
Yeah.
What, you guys all know this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wait, this is
It's a thing.
deeply problematic.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
of
They
course
all
it
wear
is.
white, I think.
White
Yeah.
Jesus. Garrick
Yeah.
so perfectly explained.
Wait, how does this man have a career?
Because everyone's ignoring it.
Because of white Jesus.
They gave him an Oscar for a movie that was fine.
Like it hasn't hit like the bad level yet.
Yeah.
I guess,
well, you would think all those underage girls is bad, but we don't care about them, right? Society.
Right. There's a lot of bad stuff about this guy.
Yeah.
So he's also like becoming like a really bad, like he's like a really bad actor, I think also. I think the joke was a moment where people were like, this guy is like out of his mind.
There was a tweet that I love from Gianmarco Soresi that said Jared Leto was like, I'm going to be the Daniel Day-Lewis of bad movies.
Rude.
Yeah.
That's
he's awful.
That's a lane, man. That's a bag. And he's going for it.
Because he's not even like, it's not like he's bad in good movies. It's like he's picking bad movies to work really hard at being bad in.
Yes, absolutely. Because there's that whole thing where he was so method that he was taking 45 minutes to go to the bathroom because he was like in the crutches and whatnot, and they were just like, let's just get this bitch a wheelchair so he can.
I want to talk about that for an hour, but we'll come back to it.
Yeah.
So like people were ready, I think, to make fun of this movie, but then when the movie started getting bad reviews, people were like, oh, okay, blood in the water, like let's go. But then the movie started doing well financially because there's no entertainment to go see in a movie theater anymore after like 2 years of a pandemic. So obviously it's going to make like some money. And now people are just like going nuts because like the idea of a really successful movie having like no fans, no viewers.
Like, I know one fan.
Of Morbius. Not
I'm dying to know why you're a fan of this movie. But
I think it is just a beginning to end. It's the perfect amount of time. It's not a 3-hour fucking superhero that's crazy. Origin story. You have to know this character and that character. Yeah. It's beginning, middle, end. Problem, tries to solve it, comes back having been changed. It's a perfect story circle. It's
a hero's journey. Are you saying that Morbius is a perfect hero's journey?
At all.
He literally turned into a bat. How could he not have changed?
But he had the same fucking problem. He still had to have blood transfusions just orally now.
Now they're obviously going to make a sequel. Obviously.
Is there a bad guy?
He's going to stay the fucking bat.
So the bad guy ends up being his best friend from childhood who is equally as disabled and equally as needed of blood.
Dr. Who's Matt Smith.
Are they gonna? Is it like a more evil Morbius? Is that what they're doing?
They try. It was like evil versus less evil, and he had to kill his best. Spoiler alert! He had to kill his best friend with bats, and by with bats, I mean the way he killed him was he flew about 50,000 bats into his best friend.
He Hadouken's bats.
That's what I was gonna say.
He fucking did a Kamehameha.
Kamehameha with fucking bats.
Oh,
so
my God.
I have a question. Did you like Venom?
That guy who's the Venom is fucking hot.
Yeah.
So
No, I mean, Venom's great. Like, so I feel like that's the benchmark to hit here is like, is it better or worse than
Why
Venom?
is that the benchmark? That's like comparing Dark Knight to the Batman. They're different.
I would say comparing Dark Knight.
I
would say it's like comparing Dark Knight to the much more superior film, Venom, which is the best movie ever made. Because Venom is the story. Venom is basically the plot of Mrs. Doubtfire, but in the end, they kill Elon Musk. So, like,
whoa,
wow,
yeah,
that's a fucking mindfuck. I kind of want to watch Venom now.
I love that.
Have you not seen Venom?
Wow, really?
I watched part of Venom. I walked in. Maggie watched it with Eugene without me.
Oh wow!
And I came at the end, and I was like, "What are you guys doing?"
It's Upgrade.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah,
yeah,
but Upgrade's dope. So
dope.
Anyway.
Yeah, but it in a if Upgrade were slimier, I guess.
Yeah. If Upgrade had like more homoerotic subtext,
it
has a good amount, but like imagine more.
That was probably the thing I believed the least about this movie is that Jared Leto liked women.
Fair.
Because that boy is ugly.
He likes younger women that live on his island.
Good point. She was too old for him.
Okay, since you are not going to have a chance to see the movie, I would like to describe my absolute favorite scene of the movie. Okay. So he has he has a love interest, but it's only because she's there. Yeah. I wouldn't say that they have any
are attracted to each other.
Of any sort, but she's also a doctor. They love calling each other doctor. That's super fun.
Yeah, and not nurse.
No, she's not a nurse.
You dare fucking call her nurse.
Well, she's a doctor. She worked hard for that.
She's a doctor.
Yeah.
So they and it's just someone says you like her, so we're like, okay, we're supposed to think that, even though they don't. Yeah. They're standing on top of a building.
I'm sorry. Before you say that, before you say the worst scene in any cinema,
the greatest scene of this movie.
They didn't even go for the, oh man, I can't date her because, you know, I'm handicapped. And it's just like in a weird, like fucked up way or whatever.
Sure.
He didn't even look up at her as if saying like, this is never going to work.
Yeah.
They never said, they didn't even do the bare minimum
the whole time. Yeah.
of setting up a love story.
There's no love story.
There's no love story.
But you get some lovin'. Yeah. And they're standing on top of a building. I don't really even remember why. He says, close your eyes. She does. And then he says, come closer. And then she does. And then they start making out like crazy.
Yeah. It was pretty anticlimactic.
It was.
I've never wanted to turn into a bat.
That would have been sick.
I've never wanted two people on screen to kiss less.
No, okay, can I interject?
I thought he was going to take her flying.
This is why it actually happened, Ryan. And I'm sorry, Zach is so anti this gorgeous film. Moments prior, they were in their new underground lair, which goes to show more how he is the Batman. And she cuts her finger on a tuna can. And some blood comes out.
And he's horny for blood.
Hey, shut up. I'm telling this scene now. You got your turn.
Because he's a vampire.
He's horny for blood. And some of her blood drips out, and the graphic effects start to come on his face, where the scary face starts to come out of the vampire, which was really good, by the way. The fucking graphic. I was actually scared of this man. And then he calms himself down because he remembers it's just her. And so she's afraid of him. She thinks he's going to go all Batman on her. And so they go up to the roof, and he kisses her to prove that he's gentle and trustworthy, you fool.
No, but before that, he's like sorry about that, and she goes, I thought it was romantic. It's like, what are you fucking talking about?
Yeah,
that
so,
was
I wish more movies
like that
showed
is
a vampire wanting to eat someone. I feel like we don't, that scene isn't in enough movies.
Twilight
of the
was
vampire trying
right
to
him
trying to hold back.
I've never seen it before.
Ever.
Never. Guys, what if a vampire was good?
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
What if a bold take
vampire?
for the movies?
What if the vampire
the most evil of spooky creatures was trying not to be bad?
Yeah.
So, okay, let's get back to the internet impact, because you've kind of told us the arc of it, but to kind of break down each era, the early
era. It's been a week.
The early Morbius memes. What kind of stuff were we seeing?
I mean, it was a lot of people just like dunking on it, making fun of the trailer, because the trailer like looks like dog shit, and it just like it also like it's also just like really hard to take a movie seriously because when it's called Morbius, which is just like a funny word to say.
His name is Michael Morbius.
Yeah. It's like
that didn't need to tie in, but whose fault is that? The guy who wrote the comic.
Yeah,
we've already discussed this.
Morbius is like a D tier villain. Like he was in the animated TV series, but they couldn't show him like biting necks, so he had to drink blood from his hand,
which is insane.
I mean, really, you asked whose fault it is. It's Sony's fault because they were given a chance to buy the whole Marvel library back in the 90s, and they were like, we'll only take Spider-Man. The rest is trash.
But then what if
we just want Morbius?
They were all like Morbius.
You gotta have my Morbius.
I gotta have it.
I gotta have Morbius. Yeah. So everyone's making fun of the movie in like a normal way. And then when the reviews come out, there's like a ton of memes of just like empty theaters. So like there's one where it's Goku and Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. And they're like, let's fight somewhere where no one will be, so no one gets hurt. And then it's a picture of like the Morbius.
Rude.
And then it's them in a fucking Morbius theater.
Yeah. And then I saw one that was like, someone broke into my car and I had 2 tickets of Morbius sitting on the front seat and they left 4 more.
That's my favorite one, I think.
That's fucked up.
This was so relentless that I think Variety released an article that was like, guys, stop picking on Morbius.
Yeah. So, but also like it got so bad where like I saw a headline that was like Morbius director like admits that he hates himself or something.
Oh no.
It was so brutal.
It's really sad. I did see this interview. So Daniel Espinosa, he basically was like, he was sad. He was like, I hate everything. You have it? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the quote
Oh my God.
So
Ryan.
the AV Club headline is so good. It knocked me out when I first saw it. It's the headline for the AV Club is Morbius Morbius director finds common ground with critics. Quote, I have a lot of self-hatred.
Oh no.
It's so sad.
Wait, so does he hate the movie?
I feel like he's just unraveling, right? He's just like, yeah, because he can't say like it's a bad movie. He can't like say that. So I think he's like, I have a lot of demons, just like Morbius, and like I am, struggling with all kinds of stuff. He can't be specific about the movie being bad.
There's an Uproxx article interview that's really quite fascinating where the guy's like, I think you're a really great director. I love these movies. So like, what happened?
And oh my God.
and
it was directed really well.
No, it wasn't. And the director's just like, well, every movie's a learning experience. And it just is this really weird moment where this...
What else is Daniel Esposito?
Safe House. He's a Swedish director, I believe.
Ryan, I have a question.
He did... Yeah.
Were there any memes about our boy Tyrese?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he inserted himself into this news cycle in a really unfortunate way.
Oh, you're
Oh my
kidding.
God. Yes, I love this.
So
What happened?
yeah. So in the Morbius,
I'm so glad you asked this, Kelsey.
Yeah, I'm very excited to talk about this. So basically, they created like people on Twitter created a fake fan campaign for Morbius called #MorbiusSweep. And it was like all these people being like, Morbius is the best movie ever.
Yes.
Morbius made more money than Avatar.
Agreed.
There was
And then they
a
created a
shot of the Rotten Tomatoes score, and it had a 238%.
Yeah, I saw that.
I love that.
Yeah. And then there was a fake quote going around that someone created for Martin Scorsese praising the film, which I think I have in front of me. Yeah, here it is. So the fake quote was, I was aghast to find out it was based on a comic book. This is the truest height of cinema, and even I cannot top it. A wise man admits when he is wrong, and I was wrong. I apologize to all comic book movies. #MorbiusSweep. And then Tyrese put it on Instagram and wrote, wow. I can't believe what just happened. Whoa. Cheers and hats off to you, Daniel Espinosa. This is so amazing, King.
Tyrese!
And then he deleted it. Yeah.
No. Can we blame
that's
an
really
intern
unfortunate.
that runs his Instagram?
It's probably Tyrese.
No.
Absolutely Tyrese.
It's probably Tyrese.
I think it was him.
Your kid, did he walk back on anything? Like, did he take it down?
He just took it down and then he didn't.
Yeah.
Oh no! And then he I think he what I don't know what's the Instagram version of subtweeting, but I think he posted a thing like, "Yo, everyone on Twitter's got like an opinion," kind of thing.
Oh, so he reposted him typing something.
So Vulture was in the trailers.
Yeah.
He's not in the movie.
No.
Yeah, he's like wearing a lab coat. And he's like walking around and he's like, "I'll see you real soon." Yeah, from what I can gather, there was like I tried to, so for your listeners, I've done 2 Marvel marathons. I did in one sitting. I did one for Civil War. I did one for Infinity War. So I'm pretty up on the MCUs.
Wow.
From what I can gather, they just like didn't tell Sony like what the multiverse stuff would look like or like how it would work. So like even Daniel Espinosa admitted it. He's like, yeah, we didn't know like what the rift would look like, so we just like made it up. And they didn't understand like the rules of Spider-Man No Way Home, so it doesn't make any sense. And then it just seems like there was a whole bunch of stuff cut out.
Yeah, so they, for context here, at the end of the movie, there's 2 post-credit scenes.
Post-credits, yeah.
Spoilers, who gives a fuck? Vulture, Adrian Toomes, played by Michael Keaton.
The Batman.
The Batman in the Batman.
In the Batman. And he'll probably come back as Batman in the Flash.
Wow, so much
Yes.
Bat.
Yeah.
He appears in a
love
cell.
bats.
He like zaps in,
Yeah.
looks around, and for whatever reason, the line that they chose for him was, "Hope the food's better in this joint."
Yeah, that
Then
made no
he's
sense.
Oh my god.
on the news.
No sense. Doesn't track with his character at all.
Released from prison, and they say a man identified as Adrian Toomes has appeared in a jail cell, but is going to be is expected to be released because there are no charges against him.
Yes.
In this universe, right? Okay,
why,
so
why would the news pick this
even know
up?
who he is.
Well, it's a little mysterious, wouldn't you say?
No,
Some random man just showed up in a jail cell.
That's not front page news.
They wouldn't say his name. They would say, dude appeared.
Yeah.
That's strange.
That's really weird.
Well,
anyway, Russia invaded Ukraine.
Well, all right. Imagine this news center was like BuzzFeed, okay? They're not exactly hitting.
Yeah, they would go, a man appeared in a jail cell. You won't believe what happened next.
Yeah.
It'd be upworthy. It would,
Isn't that a fun joke? Because we all worked there.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. And also, BuzzFeed never made those headlines, so I fell right into that trap.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Anyway, he disappears, or rather, so Vulture is let free. That's end credit 1. End credit 2, this man, Morbius, who we have never seen be a villain, is driving into the desert. Vulture has a vulture suit. I don't know how he got a vulture suit.
I don't know how
universe.
he got a vulture suit. He should not have a vulture suit.
It looked like a bird.
Because the vulture suit, the vulture suit
is alien technology.
It's Chitauri technology.
And then someone else built it for him.
What's Chitauri technology?
That's the aliens that attacked New York.
Yeah. Isn't Chitauri that one friend from Detroit? I love them.
Yeah.
Hold on. To get even more in the weeds about this, though, okay, let's assume that they're in Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man universe.
Which
Andrew Garfield doesn't know what the Avengers are because they don't exist in that universe, which means that there's no version of the Battle of New York that happened in that universe.
Correct.
So there's no way to make that suit at all.
Correct.
Period. Especially not exactly like.
What if he went to the other verse and then came back
again?
You can't do that.
Well,
and he can't bring.
What about Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch? He does it.
He's Doctor Strange.
How do you know? Fucking that he. All right.
Kelsey makes the point. I have to. I hate to tell you, Ryan, that it does get worse. Vulture flies to him. He says, "I'm still figuring out this joint, but."
He talks like Guy. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I'm still figuring out this universe. So he says something about Spider-Man. We don't know that Morbius knows Spider-Man.
He goes,
I think
I was set here by Spider-Man.
I don't know what I'm doing here. I think it has something to do with Spider-Man. And I'm thinking that
it's a good idea if guys like us decide to team up.
Yeah. And
I think it'd be a good idea if the guys like us decided to team up.
There is
That's a cool line.
That's a cool line.
Well, yeah, it flowed out real smooth.
The final line of the movie is Morbius going, intriguing.
Awesome. Awesome. He talks like Sheldon Cooper.
It left a lot to be desired. I was excited. I was on the edge of my seat. Can't wait for the sequel.
So Sony is shoving this idea of the Sinister Six down our throat. Yeah. But Morbius is not a villain in this movie. And he has no reason to team up with a villain, let alone team up against Spider-Man. It doesn't work.
But he's othered by society, so that makes him a villain.
So is Spider-Man though. And so here, I do have one detail that might be interesting here, which is that Sony's been trying to make a Sinister Six movie for like 20
wow,
years.
That's too long.
There's like someone at Sony who was like, oh, wouldn't it be great to just like put all of Spider-Man's villains in one movie?
His name is Avi Arad.
Which like,
oh God.
Yeah, it just like doesn't make any sense. Like no one wants a Kraven the Hunter movie.
But
like,
we're getting one starring Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
no.
Yeah. I just watched Garrick's soul leave his body.
What are you guys fucking talking about?
Oh man,
Kraven the Hunter is a
exactly.
Guy
he's like a weird hunter.
Okay,
he doesn't
superhero villain,
and like his
got it.
His main story is he kills Spider-Man and becomes Spider-Man.
Oh.
And like they can't even do that story. Like,
but I like
that's the
ridiculous.
only good Kraven the Hunter story.
Oh well, I mean, look what they did with Morbius. They gave us his origin story. Maybe they'll give us the Kraven Hunter man's origins.
Yeah. Here's where I think it does get really fascinating, and you alluded to this, is I was in the parking lot, I was like losing my mind because I'm like, Garrick, this doesn't make any sense. That's not the rules of Spider-Man No Way Home. What is he doing in this universe? And at this point, I also thought that this was the Tom Holland universe, which didn't really make sense. And now I realize, no, it's not. So it's either the Andrew Garfield universe, and they are going to throw all the money in the universe at Andrew Garfield to come back, which would excite people. But now I'm like, ooh, this movie's got a stink on it. And Andrew Garfield's in a good place. He
should be inclined to say no.
I think he would say no.
Yeah, especially how they did him on the second one, because he's like, throughout all of the Amazing Spider-Mans, like both of them, he's kind of acting his ass off.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's great.
Nothing.
He's amazing.
Right.
He's amazing.
Like he just has no base.
The Andrew Garfield goodwill right now is incredible. So I feel like there are two options, because you cannot cast another new white Spider-Man.
Yeah.
No one. It's just, there's too much. So either Andrew Garfield has all the cards, or they're going to be forced to do a live action Miles Morales, which is kind of dope and then also kind of devastating because I don't want Miles Morales to have to go down like that.
I just saw you go, the tiniest little.
Just like,
what are you feeling right now, Derek?
Oh no! Because I got happy. I was like, oh shit, that would be. Oh god! I don't want anybody to go through that. I don't want to watch our sweet animated boy cross over to the live space and get destroyed by. It seems like a company that doesn't give a fuck about the character.
No. They want to sell like Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
That's what they want to sell headphones.
Yeah.
Like that's all they want to do.
Oh my God. Sony Animation, like we were talking about yesterday,
they're incredible.
Killing it.
Yeah.
But Sony,
What's up?
they need that Walkman back. You know, like I feel like that's the only thing that they had going for them.
It was wild too because like they had so much goodwill with Venom 2. Like Venom 2, I feel like it was people thought it was really fun. People were coming around to the Sony Marvel verse. And
then
were
they
people
put this out.
expect, like before the trailer for Morbius dropped, were people like fucking hype on Jared Leto being Morbius? Were they hype on Morbius?
Nobody was hype on anything that had to do with a vampire in the Marvel universe.
Well, okay, here's a question, Ryan. I need clarification because he brings vampire bats back from Peru. He stores them in his apartment in New York City, and he becomes a bat. That's what we presume a vampire bat, since that's the ones he brought in his backpack all the way across the country. But then he's a vampire because he has to stab his best friend in the heart with a wooden stake. So is he a vampire fucking bat or a fucking vampire?
He didn't even stab him with a stake. He stabbed him with like some injection that kills vampire
Right,
bats.
but they were reading about. Remember they were reading about the stake in the heart thing? So is he actually a vampire? Because I think he was just a vampire bat.
Yeah.
Not a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. His whole thing is that he's a living vampire. So like it's not like he's like a demon or like cursed.
I genuinely
it's like
think
a
y'all
genetic
are
thing.
confused. I think he was a vampire bat. Not a vampire.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, we agree.
No, he's not a vampire.
And I think that a vampire is a human vampire bat. Like, why do you think that there's a difference here?
It's why Blade has like an uneasy relationship with Morbius. Because Blade is like against the vampire society. And Morbius doesn't really fit into that because he made himself a vampire by accident.
Wait, are you saying the word vampire and like the vampires as characters come from vampire bat?
I'm going to fucking leave this room. I'm going to leave this room.
I thought vampire bats were named after vampires.
What?
They are.
Well, what came first? The chicken or the fucking egg?
Are you saying which came first, vampires or the term vampire
Brian, don't
bat?
make me say that. But yes, which one came first?
Oh God, I thought I would know.
Now I don't know.
I assume vampire.
I thought that
Okay, so I'm not that crazy.
But
you
I
can't
thought
leave.
I thought the origin of vampires was
hold
like
on,
an
wait.
anti-Semitic thing in the 1600 Europe.
I
Yeah,
think it
the
was,
original.
yeah. It was like an
Really?
No,
Vampires
ghosts are not
Jewish?
anti-Semitic. It was like that. They said that Jews were sucking blood of people, and that's where vampires came from. I believe.
I'm looking this up right now.
And then are vampire bats even real? I don't fucking know.
Vampire bats are real.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
vampire bats are real.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a real bat.
Then they
Anyway.
probably just named it after. But in lore, oh my God, who cares? Ryan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do you have any final Morbius thoughts
They
for
better
us?
be good.
Yeah, I mean, just like if your listeners/viewers have any thoughts about like what kind of tattoo I should
my
get for the summer
God.
of Morbius, let me know. A happy Morbs Day
Yes.
to all of you, and
Peace
I
be
hope
with
that
you.
I really love that like this is the Shrek of our modern era. You know, like this is the edgy Gen Z Shrek that we've been
Hell yeah.
needing. The sort of eternal movie meme we can all talk
Just
about.
And
That's
the
good.
happiest
Great.
and a happy summer of Morbius to you, Ryan.
Have a great goblin mode during the summer of Morbius, everybody.
Where can people find you?
You can follow my extremely bad Twitter account at Broderick, and you can read my great newsletter, which is garbageday.email.
Signing up
check me
now.
out there. And
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, we're going to let you go, but now it is our time to decide, is this movie a pleasure, a guilty pleasure, or just plain guilty?
yeah, it was super fun. Thanks, guys.
You want me to go first?
I think
Listen,
you should
for the sake of
end-
our friendship.
I think you should end it.
Okay.
Or you
go
wanna
first.
go?
No, you go first.
This is the guiltiest fucking movie
I've
ever seen.
I've ever seen.
Do not watch it.
Follower.
It's not even fun bad.
Yeah.
It's just bad.
It's not fun bad. It's not like fun to like shit on or anything like that.
Well, I've had fun right now.
Yeah, I've had fun talking about it in this context.
You poor boy. We're gonna have to hype you up.
But I don't think that this was a good use of money.
Time.
I feel like if they were to donate this money to, I don't know,
Ukraine,
or somebody else that's starving, or whatever, or some kind of
give it to me. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yes, the climate crisis.
Us.
Then I mean, somebody could have actually stopped a blood disease rather than having a movie about someone not stopping a blood disease.
All right, listen. You all said your piece. And for the sake of our friendship, I'm going to say this. Because I did have a big old grin on my face the whole time because I knew it was so crazy. And I gave a standing ovation at the end. It's guilty pleasure. You know, it's the kind of movie where you know it's bad, but it's good and it's a fun. You want to watch to be like, oh, is this the part where he releases the 70,000 bats through a plastic tube in the middle of New York City? I want to watch that crazy part. I want to hear him go, I'm hungry, and you don't want to see what happens when I get hungry.
Real line in the movie.
Yeah, you just.
I know I opened the show with it, and you didn't know.
It's good.
That's a real line. You wouldn't like me when I'm hungry.
Someone wrote that. Someone put that on a piece of paper.
It's so bad, it's good. That's what this whole show is about, and so I'm voting guilty pleasure.
Okay, I just want to iterate that I did a standing ovation. Jared did a standing ovation. Kelsey did a standing ovation. I was doing it ironically. It's like, this is the worst fucking movie I've ever seen. Kudos to you.
Well, who else? Was it you that also yelped when Sony came up, the title card?
When the movie started, I was like,
yeah. We both, yeah. All right. We're all just a bunch of hooligans.
Oh boy. Well, that is Morbius. Let us know what you think in the comments. No, just kidding. We know you didn't see it.
I fucking can't believe it. Where's my one person in the comments?
I'm at Courtney on all the things.
I'm Kelsey Darragh on all the things.
I'm Garrick Bernard on all the things.
And until next time, what are you doing?
I was clapping with my feet.
Morbius. Happy summer of Morbius to all of you.
Morbius.
Let the Morbius sweep continue.
Morbius.